Accounting for 20% of the world's total land area, Africa is the second largest continent on Earth. With vast terrain stretching from the equator deep into both the northern and the southern hemispheres, the African landscape hosts varying habitats that are home to a multitude of unique animal and plant life. Although substantially rich in natural minerals, Africa remains the only region in the world where poverty and hunger is still increasing, despite $50 billion in charity. Strangled by corruption and political instability, there is a huge issue regarding distribution of wealth throughout Africa. Today, a privileged minority holds the majority of wealth. Such polar opposites can be hard to comprehend, but for example, 80% of Africa's farmers live on less than $1 per day, and only 2 out of every 5 children will have access to proper education. A staggering 40% of the population lacks clean drinking water. In rural areas, people, often children, must walk miles over harsh terrain to obtain a small amount of water, barely fit to cover their needs. Water that is dirty, salty, and teeming with bacteria and parasites. Today, as much as 2,000 children will die across Africa from diseases such as dysentery, cholera, and diarrhea, a direct result of the contaminated water they have no choice but to drink.
It's really hard for most of us to even imagine how farmers and their families can make a living on less than $1 a day in the drylands of Kenya. They're constantly experiencing crop failure with maize crops that may be lost 2 out of 3 years. They grow livestock, but with the droughts becoming more common, they're losing these animals due to lack of fodder, lack of water during the dry season. The cultivation of trees for wood and other products has increasingly been seen as a means of enabling families to make a pathway out of poverty by increasing their assets and their income over time. This can add diversity to the family income and a way of building assets as their trees grow over the years.
Over 2/3 of Africa consists of desert and semi-desert area. Almost 90% of the original forest is gone from Western Africa. For every tree planted, 28 trees are cut. The wood is used as firewood and also as a major export item to Western countries as well as Asia. Each person in the West uses more than 440 pounds of tree per year. And in India and China, the demand is increasing rapidly. This desertification is affecting over 65% of Africa's population. Smallhold farmers and people living in the now drylands are forced to battle continual crop failures and an extreme lack of water. Soil erosion is increasing, and the land, which so many people are reliant on, is becoming harder to farm. Longer and more frequent droughts are adding to the struggle, making the keeping of livestock, which is essential to many, even harder. People lose animals in the dry season because they simply can't find the resources to feed and water them. Better Globe is an international company that believes they have found a solution in market-driven charity. Give people the tools to work themselves out of poverty, creating opportunity for future generations, a chance to really build dignified and independent lives. Better Globe established long-term forest management commitments, which create profitable local businesses that are self-sufficient and are able to survive without charity or contribution. Unlike most forestry companies, Better Globe plant trees in semi-arid areas, which gives the worst possible circumstance for forestry, with the toughest living conditions for people. There are no jobs, schools, or infrastructure. In order to construct a tree plantation, Better Globe build irrigation systems using unique technology from experts in the field. Customers purchase trees. For every 2 trees bought in the donation package, 2 additional trees are donated to the local community, along with 130 gallons of water, assistance with microcredit loans, and support for building new schools. Tree plantations create many jobs for people in the surrounding community, also giving them security and independence. The trees they plant reduce desertification and limit greenhouse gas emissions, whilst binding the soil and preventing erosion.
Hello, my name is Simon, I'm from Sweden, I'm 18 years old, and I buy trees and donation packages from Better Globe. What has really touched me the most here has definitely been the people, the Africans, and both their joy and their misery, and being invited to their houses and really seeing the huge contrast between them and us. And I really hope and I believe that Better Globe can make a difference for them, and that Better Globe can help them build a foundation for development and growth, both to them individually and their families, their communities, and finally their society. And that's really why I'm involved in Better Globe, because I really want to, help and make a difference.
Better Globe also place key emphasis on working with outgrowers. They approach existing farmers they feel need support and forge an agreement whereby the farmer will grow Better Globe trees on their land. Better Globe will not only reimburse the farmer, but they will also assist with needs such as water for irrigation and training on how to best manage the soil and trees. Additional to the job creation the plantations bring, Better Globe want to give people in the local community the opportunity to pursue their own small businesses. To accomplish this, they have introduced microfinance. By establishing microfinance centres run and organised by people in the area, local people can now access small, manageable credit loans, which they can use to invest in the family farm, purchase livestock, or to set up a side business such as textiles. The education of children is fundamental to overcome poverty and corruption throughout Africa. Hence, Better Globe builds schools in collaboration with Child Africa. They also donate trees and water tanks to improve the standards of existing schools. To further build integrity in children, a free magazine is produced titled Bingwa, which means champion in Swahili. The magazine is distributed to children as a resource for fun, learning, and moral understanding. Child Africa aim to raise champions of the future generation that will have the strength to tackle corruption at source. Part of what makes Better Globe unique is they provide assistance and support to the environment and to the underprivileged, whilst also remaining profitable. This enables them to share the surplus of their business. When you buy a tree, you own the tree. After 5 years, you start to receive a return from your tree. And by year 20, Better Globe will buy back your tree at 10 times the retail price. You contribute to a better world while earning money. The more trees that are planted, the more job opportunities are created, more families can receive microcredit loans, and more children can be educated. Along with you, we build functioning societies in some of the world's most vulnerable areas. At Better Globe, they believe to make a big difference, you need to set big targets. With this in mind, they aim to plant as many trees as there are people on this planet. By then, they will have built more schools and given more microcredit loans to more people in need than any other organisation has ever done before. Better Globe have developed one system that tackles the economic, environmental, and humanitarian problems that plague Africa. It's incredible what can be achieved when you give people the smallest opportunity to improve their living standards and take charge of their own life. Please take the time to look further into what is done at Better Globe and imagine what could be done with your help. Thank you.